When should we do our vegan co-host? Whenever you want him. Let me know. Schedule a time.
Yo, what's up, Mike?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
About God is imaginary. Can I ask you a couple questions before we start?
Okay.
So obviously you don't believe in a God. I'm gonna assume you're an atheist. Do you believe in an objective morality?
No.
No. So are you a relativist or are you? What is it?
I'm a moral anti-realist.
Gotcha. All right. So, I'm sure you've heard some pretty common debate points on existence of God. Um, do you want me to just list those off and some points, and you can respond? Or
Yeah, so go ahead.
so obviously, like I talked about objective morality, I won't go too much into that because I'm sure your take on that. But really, more than anything, one second.
Keep tapping, guys. Keep tapping. Did the rapture happen yet? We got it wrong, guys. It's happening 10 years from now.
All right. Okay. So, obviously, there's the order and design argument, right? A natural world, like as complex and as organized as ours, it demands an intelligent mind, right? There's no accident or chance to originate. Like, we have very little evidence to support orderly things coming from disorder, only from an ordered mind.
Yeah, that's nonsense. So we know that, for example, gravity can yield order through disorder. So, for example, nebula cloud can collapse under gravity and form a stellar system. That's
So that
basic
doesn't
physics.
disprove the order of the world. That doesn't.
No,
If you look at the order of the human body, I don't think that has anything to do with the nebulous cloud. More than anything.
Hold on. I agree that there is order in the universe to some degree. The universe is vastly chaotic more than it's orderly. But the order that we do understand can be explained through physics, can be explained through gravity, can be explained through the weak force, nuclear forces. Also, our bodies can be explained through evolution. Natural selection explains thoroughly why we are complex. You don't need God.
I agree, and I believe I believe in the process of evolution, but there's no creative mechanism in evolution, and that's been proven, right? We don't get something from nothing. That's not exactly how it works. It's more plausible to believe we get something from someone than something from nothing.
But you don't need to invoke that nonsense. You can just say that the stuff in the universe is always there, and we have evolved over time to who we are today. You don't need God at all.
It's not necessarily about like needing. It's more of we as humans we desire to find the answers to things. We always have since the beginning of time.
How old are you?
So I'm 19.
Okay. Evidence is what I'm looking for. Evidence is something that points us closer to God existing versus not existing. Do you have any data or verifiable evidence that demonstrates God exists or is more likely to exist than not exist?
I can give you. Yeah, I can give. Sorry, I swiped out of TikTok. I can give you. 2 points and then a conclusion of the points. Yeah. I can give you some substantial evidence if you'd like.
Yeah.
All right, give me just 1 second. Okay, so my point I'd like to make. So these are going to be 2 different points, and then I'm going to get every entity that undergoes motion by another. Okay. And then my second point would be a hierarchical infinite regression. It's logically impossible. So if you know what that means, if you don't know what that means, I can kind of explain it. If I put you in front of a button and I tell you you cannot press that button until the person behind you says you can, but I line an infinite row of people behind you, you're never going to press the button. So in conclusion, there is a first mover, and this first mover we call God.
Okay, this is a very old argument, and this is Aquinas' first way, derivative of it. The problem is that we have learned since Aquinas. We now know that Aristotle was wrong in his physics. We now know that Einstein's relativity shows us that time doesn't pass, doesn't tick. That's something of an illusion that the brain produces. The B theory of time allows us to look at a universe in which nothing is absolutely moving. Motion is relative, change is relative. So, in fact, in Einstein's relativity, everything that is in the universe is moving at the speed of light through space and time. So, at a constant rate. So, if everything's moving at the same speed, nothing's really moving in any absolute way. So, that's what Aristotle didn't understand. That's what Aquinas didn't understand. That's why those arguments are bad. They don't show a first mover because there is no such thing as any first motion. It's not possible. Motion's relative.
I like that you brought up Einstein. So do you believe in the Big Bang?
The Big Bang is a model that describes the expansion of the universe, and there's very good evidence for it.
Okay. So if I mean Einstein had a pretty crazy take on the Big Bang. I mean, I'm sure you've heard Einstein at first didn't like the idea of the Big Bang, right? He thought, well, that means there's a cause. So
Right.
my exact point would be, I mean,
No. Einstein didn't
man's
say
the
that there
cause.
must have been a cause. Einstein said that he was a proponent of the steady state model, and he thought that the universe was static and infinite. But he didn't claim to know there was a causer. That's nonsense. But go ahead and show God,
well,
please.
he was a pantheist, right? I mean, like I said, he thought the infinite or the universe was infinite, and the universe was God. Like I said,
No
he
way.
didn't like the Big Bang. He didn't acknowledge it. If anything, he disapproved of it because he thought, well, then, if the Big Bang is true, then something can't just come from nothing. It couldn't have just happened. There
Yeah.
has to be a cause.
Yeah, I can tell you listen to lots of Cliff Netchell and these guys, these apologists. They're confusing you. Please go learn the science. Unfortunately, the Big Bang does not need a god. It was likely caused by quantum fluctuation. We never need God to explain the Big Bang. So, and nobody ever said it came from nothing. So you're straw manning. You don't really understand the
So
science.
no one ever said it came from nothing. That's a pretty bold
Okay,
claim.
great. So then demonstrate that God did it or go away.
I can't demonstrate that you're perceiving. I mean, this conversation. I mean, we got to think. We got to think consistently here. I mean, like I said before, it's more plausible to believe that something came from someone rather than something came from nothing. I mean,
Why? Nobody said it came from nothing. Why do you keep straw manning me?
Okay. So, what is it that you believe the universe came from?
It could have always existed.
It's always existed. Oh, okay. So you believe the universe is eternal.
It could be.
So is it all relative?
Yes. Everything is relative.
There we go. Okay, gotcha. All right. That's all I needed. Have a nice night.
Okay. Have a good day. Everybody keep tapping. Let's get the next victim in here.
Hey, brother, how's it going?
Good.
I just wanted to, I caught you maybe a couple days ago. Love the bit. Absolutely huge fan. I got a bit of my own. I am God.
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
good. How are you?
Good.
Sweet. So, I guess my main 2 points as to God existing, and I also want to touch on the vegan thing because I can imagine, I just joined, but I can imagine most of this discourse has been God related. Um, and it's not to bash you for your way of eating, by the way. It's just, I don't know, relevant. But anyway, two main points as to the existence of God would one be objective morality. So humans all have various different moralities. There are cultures that do things that, I mean, you and I would consider deplorable, but for them it's normal. But there's a guilt element that exists there. For me, I think that is evidence that we have this baseline moral code given to us by something that then we can choose because sin and the fall and Adam and Eve and all that.
Okay, so you're saying that we have objective morality, therefore God is more likely?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, can you demonstrate that we have objective moral facts?
Yeah. I mean, I think we can both agree that killing an innocent person is morally objectable.
I agree it's wrong, but that doesn't make it objectively wrong. When something's objectively wrong or a moral fact exists, it means that beyond anybody's stances or opinions, this thing must be wrong. Just because our stances agree or align does not mean that it's objective. It could mean that it's also subjective. It's just that we agree that it's true. So
But then I
how do
guess
you
my
know that
rebuttal
it's
to that
wrong
would
objective?
be I don't feel like there would be a guilt element to that because if you believe, because if it's not objective, it's subjective. So if you believe that that's okay, why would you feel guilty about doing it? Why would we feel guilty about doing any things
Look, I
that
agree
any?
that we feel guilty when we do these things. The problem is you're asserting that there are these objective moral facts out there.
Mhm.
Prove it, demonstrate that. Just because God exists doesn't even mean you have objective facts. How do you know
No,
that you have objective facts about morality?
because we're all born with it. I mean, babies don't. There isn't like a baby fucking serial killer.
Well, we're born with the tools required to have morality, but that doesn't mean that we have objective moral facts. Do you
Yeah,
understand
I
the
mean,
difference? We can have opinions with our brain. We can use our brains as tools to guide us as to what we think is right or wrong, but that doesn't make those opinions true.
I think we have certain baseline ones. I will concede. I think in the regard to, I think we only have a couple objective, like baseline morality components, and then we adapt and learn the other ones.
Look,
Um,
look,
so I
look,
think
I
we,
want you to demonstrate that we have objective moral facts. Can you do that? Because all you're doing is you're saying that they exist. Can you demonstrate they exist?
where we're at today, because we all agreed that killing is bad, so
That
we should
doesn't make
come
them
together.
objective. Just because we all agree doesn't make them objective. It's not what objective means.
No, I know. That's why I brought up the guilt element, because
Okay. It doesn't matter if we feel guilty or not, right? That's irrelevant. What's relevant is, are there facts about morality? Are there facts that go beyond our stances that make this thing true? Can you show me that beyond anybody's opinion, it's wrong to murder? Can you show that?
I mean, not study wise, probably. I
Great.
think
So
it's
then
just
why do you
something
claim that you have objective facts about murder being wrong?
because I don't think outside of external factors anybody would murder.
That
And I think
doesn't make
that,
them objectively true. Again,
no,
why is murder, how can murder be objectively wrong? It's just our opinion that it's wrong. How can it be wrong as a fact?
well, even from a evolutionary standpoint, we would it would be wrong because I mean lions don't
I,
kill other
I don't know if I'm
lions.
getting through to you. I don't know if I'm getting through to you.
No, I get what you
How do
mean.
you know? How do you know that morality is, there are facts about morality?
Okay. I can't necessarily prove that immediately.
Okay, great. So then you can't use this as an argument for God. It's a bad
Well,
argument.
it's it with anything. It's like multiple layers that it's multiple different things that come together to formulate an opinion. So, like for example, an atheist, there are many reasons why they don't believe in God. For a Christian, there are many reasons why we do.
Okay,
That is
okay,
a
okay,
reason.
great. Great, great. So do you have evidence for God now or no before I kick you?
I mean, so like science, right? A lot of people, including mostly, atheists, use science as a means to disprove God. My belief is that the two are hand in hand. So like Big Bang doesn't discredit
Okay,
God.
okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Can you give evidence now? Start giving data for God?
Most philosophers agree, I would say.
Okay.
Albert Einstein.
Have a good day, sir. Hey, how are you?
What's up? So I just want you to listen to my take on this.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
The next time you eat a hamburger, here's something on which you.
It's not that I don't love steak. It's that I don't like harming others, right? That's why I don't eat those things because you're harming somebody else. Hey, what do you got?
Hey, so yesterday I caught you with like talking about the rapture, and you were, very quick to tell one girl like you were gonna laugh at her as she was going to hell. So like,
That was satire, ma'am. I was kidding.
but that's either way, that's not funny. And like, I don't know your like end game with doing these lives. Like, are you trying to help people or like how are you trying like what is
Look,
your
look. If I offended somebody, I'm sorry. If I offended somebody, it
you're
wasn't.
not offending me.
It wasn't okay. It wasn't meant to hurt anybody. It was meant to be a satirical live. So if I hurt somebody, I'm sorry.
No, but like genuinely, what is your end game with doing these? And like, are you trying to bring people to God? Are you trying to
No,
bring
I'm not.
people away
I'm
from
not. I don't
God?
believe in God, ma'am. I don't believe in God. So
Okay,
do you know
so
about
are
it?
you wanting people to give you facts about God? Because you can go to the Bible, you can go to the Torah, you can go to the Quran. There are three things right there that are thousands years old. And either way, it is going to point
Okay.
you to the same God. It's just a
Okay.
different point of view.
Okay. So why would you take an old, dusty, dirty book and go, "Oh, this is true"? How could you possibly do that? Honestly,
But what other thing on earth has there been around to point you to something else? To make you believe of like why are we here?
evidence, data, science, right? All these things give us data. We observe the world. We empirically test it. That's data that shows us what's true. When I look at when I read an old, dirty book from 2,000 years ago, it's hard for me to say that those things are true because one, I can't verify them, I can't falsify them, and we know that most of the shit in those stories are fables, they're mythology, right? So the problem is that these books are unreliable.
But have you gone to Israel? Have you been to those places? Have you
No, but I don't see why that's relevant. Why do I have to be there to know that it exists or that God exists?
I mean, that's where I mean, personally, I am a Christian, so that's where Jesus died. That's where he rose.
Okay, can you show me that he rose there? Do you have any evidence of that?
Again, it's in the Bible
And how do you know the Bible's true?
because so you have the Old Testament, which is from the Torah, from Judaism, and then Christianity is the New Testament, and 12 disciples died a horrible death, all telling that Jesus lived and that Jesus.
Well, we don't. First of all, we don't know if the disciples all died for Jesus. We don't know if they were all martyrs. Perhaps maybe Paul was, but the rest of the disciples, we don't know if their deaths, if they were relevant to Jesus' death or his
But
resurrection.
why? But why? Like,
But more importantly, who cares? Look, people die for all kinds of silly things. I'm looking for good reasons to think this guy resurrected. I'm sorry, man, but a book is not going to cut it for me. It's just not falsifiable.
so what in your life have you seen that is so good that you can't explain it?
Many things I can't explain, but I don't
Okay,
just
so
say,
don't
"Oh,
you
I don't
believe
explain
that
it."
something is greater and that something is so powerful and loves you so much that there
There's
is
just no
good.
evidence. There's no evidence of that. As appealing as it sounds to think that there's somebody out there that cares about me and watches where I put my pee-pee, it doesn't, there's just no good reason to think that's true. It just doesn't seem to exist to me. I want more evidence than just, oh, here's a book from 2,000 years ago and you better believe it or you're going to burn. That sounds like a scare tactic.
Okay, so why were you so quick to say it to people last night, but then today you're like, oh, like it was a joke, haha. When
Because I'm trying to show people that there are two different sides to the equation here, right? I'm trying to show people that from your point of view, you believe in silly things. You just do. And I'm trying to point that out by using satire. It works.
but again, you're doing more harm than good instead of just saying like are you genuinely wanting to
I'm
learn?
not doing harm. You're taking it personally. It's not
I'm not
personal.
taking it personally.
Okay,
I
great.
think
So then, so
that
then, so then, look, I care about data and facts. This is not a complaint session, right? I want data here. Give me evidence. This is a debate stage. So either give evidence for God or please go away.
again, I can only point you into the direction of like the three.
Okay. If that's all you can do, you just don't have evidence. I'm sorry. It's just not going to work for us. Anybody can write a book and say God did it.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Good. So yeah, I believe in God. I'm a Christian and I just base it on, I haven't heard any convincing argument against it, and it seems like it resonates with me. And you seem to act like it's kind of silly, but I don't really know what it is about it that seems ridiculous to you.
Talking snakes, talking donkeys, resurrections, Noah's Ark, a big boat with all the animals on it, Adam and Eve, all kinds of nonsense. Dragons and wizards.
Dragons and wizards, I don't remember that.
Where do I begin? I mean, the Bible's
Yeah,
full
well, I mean, I don't. Yeah, well, it all depends on how you read it. You can't take the talking snake as any more than, it's literature. It's an ancient poem that
okay,
had
great.
much more meaning.
Okay, great. So then show me evidence that God exists, please. Right?
I just told you I don't really see where there's evidence against the God of the Bible or interpretations of Scripture.
Look, there is evidence against your God. There's a problem of evil, divine hiddenness, all kinds of problems there. But even if I couldn't provide you counter evidence, that it does not give more credence to your belief, right? Even if I couldn't show you that your God doesn't exist, it doesn't mean that he does exist, right? So,
well, we're all, everybody's taking a leap. Nobody knows any of this crap. Like we're all,
but you're taking a
leaping
big
in a direction.
Sir, but you're taking a big fucking leap, right? You're saying, I don't know, therefore this guy resurrected from the dead. Like, that's a huge leap, right? You're not taking I'm taking actually no leap at all. I'm saying, I don't know. You're saying God did.
Yeah, well, I lean in that direction because my experience resonates with it, and not all things are.
Okay, so what's your best evidence for God?
You're asking for like scientific data?
Your best data, scientific or not, any of your best data.
Do you have data for the people you love in your life?
Yeah, I have the birth certificates, photos, videos, memories with them. Yes.
Yeah, but does that really do it justice? Have you, if you've fallen in love with someone, you can't just list all of their attributes on a page and say that sums up the full totality of why I feel this connection with someone. Some things are a little bit beyond.
Look, we can demonstrate the love I have for my family by the behaviors I share with them, the memories we have, the things we do together. But if that's not enough for you,
Those are all just. Well, that, I mean, those are all just repercussions of the love, but
Okay,
that
great.
doesn't
So,
ex-
how does this
so I could
make
tell you
God
things in my
exist?
life.
Hold on, sir, please. I think you're trying to say that I felt God or something. The problem with saying I felt God is how do you distinguish a feeling with God from a feeling that you made up yourself? That's the problem. How do you falsify your experience with God?
So you're wanting, what else can someone say then that they've experienced it? I mean, where does that leave me? You know,
It leaves you in a position
if
where
I've had,
you can't say it was God. You have to be honest with yourself and say I don't know what that was, but it doesn't necessarily mean God did it. Okay?
yeah, I think the problem is that God can mean, a million different things to a million different people. And
Yeah, that's a big fucking problem, and I'm sorry, sir, but we need more data than that.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, mate, you're right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're saying obviously God is imaginary, so can you prove that he's imaginary?
Yeah, which God?
Obviously, there's only one God, so there's only one God, so you're saying he's
There's only one
imaginary.
God.
So.
You say that with such conviction, but there's thousands of gods that people have proclaimed exist.
Yeah, there's
Which one
thousands
do
of
you
gods, but
debunk?
there's a lot of wrong gods. For example, some people, they worship idols, but how can you worship...
Okay, great. Those are gods. So demonstrate that your God is true.
No, I'm saying, how can an idol which a human being create be God?
That's
If
what
the
every
idol
God is
falls...
like. It appears as if
Yeah,
every
so
God is
obviously
that
there's a
way,
lot of...
especially Allah, especially the Christian God and the Muslim God. They're all made up.
Yeah, no, that's according to you, not according to others. And
Okay,
what I'm
then
saying...
demonstrate that you're correct. There's no evidence of God to me.
Yeah, so I'm saying, so who created the universe?
That's a question begging. You're question begging here. You're saying, who created it? As if there must be somebody.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
saying
nobody
because
did
it
it.
can't just
Maybe
come
nobody
by
created
itself. It can't just come like that. There must be a creator to the universe.
it. Okay, who created God then?
God is uncreated.
Then why can't we say the universe is uncreated?
Because you're looking at it, you live in it.
Yeah, why does that mean it must have been created? It could have been just always there, right?
Yeah, but it has to have a creator, of course.
Why? Why does it have to have a creator?
How? Yeah, but it's common sense. How can it just appear like that?
How did God
The
just
sun. You
appear?
look at
How
the
did
sun,
God
for
just appear?
example.
How did God just appear?
That's God, isn't it? God has no beginning. He has no end. He's ever living.
Okay, great. So then why can't we say the universe has no beginning and no end either?
Because God created the universe.
Prove it.
Yeah, but I'm saying by logic, the universe can't just appear like that by itself.
Nobody said it did, sir.
Yeah, so I'm saying,
What
so
we're
there
saying
must
is
be.
it
I'm
could have
saying
always existed.
whether it's God or not, that someone must have created the universe.
Why?
Why? You're asking me why? Because if God wants to create a universe, he can create the universe. The point
Look,
is,
how are you
there's an
not
all
seeing?
supreme
How are you
power
not
out
seeing
there.
this, sir? Please listen. You're not looking at this in the right way. You're assuming continuously that God did it. Why? What's your reasoning? Isn't it possible that the universe perhaps always was, or it was caused by something else that's not God? Aren't those possibilities?
No, because if that's a possibility, you have to back that. You have to back it.
It's mathematically and scientifically possible that the universe is infinite or caused by a quantum field.
No, a lot of people say Big Bang. Do you believe in the Big Bang?
Yeah, what do you think the Big Bang is?
Yeah, so in our Quran,
No.
God
No.
talks
What
about
do
the
you
Big
think the
Bang.
Big Bang is?
No, I'm telling you that.
No. If you're gonna critique the Big Bang, I want you to show me what you think it is.
What do you mean? What do I think it is? I'm just saying people say it's the Big Bang. but we know it's God that created it.
Okay.
I'm saying,
Again, let me ask you, sir, what the Big Bang is. If you can't answer this honestly, you're going to go away. What's the Big Bang?
I don't know what the Big Bang is. I'm saying what you guys say.
Great, exactly. So why are you
You say the
critiquing-
Big Bang.
Why are you critiquing things you don't understand?
I'm saying what others say. I don't believe in the Big Bang. I know there's a
Because you
creator out
don't
there.
understand the Big Bang, sir.
Yeah, but
That's
the Big
why.
Bang.
That's why
yeah,
you're
but the Big.
lost here.
I'm not lost. You never let me speak.
Then
You're
what's the
you're
Big
also
Bang? Then
saying
what's the Big
evolution
Bang?
is fact. Are you saying we come from monkeys?
That's not evolution.
So what's evolution?
It's showing that over time, over generational time, our genes can change.
Yeah, but do you know that science agrees 100% of the Quran?
It doesn't. The Quran
does.
says the stars can fall from the sky, that cow's milk is pure, that there's an
Where does the
Adam and Eve
Quran
and
say
Noah's
the
Ark.
stars
The
can fall from
Quran
the
is
sky?
full of
Where does it say
fables,
that?
sir.
Where does it say the Quran can fall from the sky?
86-2.
Sorry, the stars.
86-2.
Sorry?
86-2.
I have to search that because I know the
Yeah,
stars
go
don't.
search it
The
up,
star-
sir.
the stars don't just
86-2
fall.
says
Have you
stars
ever
can
seen a
fall.
falling star?
1666 says cow's milk is pure. Noah's Ark, Adam and Eve is in the.
Yeah, so what's wrong with saying the cow's milk is organic and pure? Is there anything wrong with that?
It's not pure. It's full of bacteria.
No, the organic pure cow's milk is pure.
No, it's
The
not
one you
pure.
drink from the
There's-
supermarket is mixed,
There's
of
no
course.
such thing as pure milk, sir. There's always bacteria and pus in it.
No, it's pure. It's coming straight from the cow. It's organic. When you buy organic fruit, it's pure. It's
Sir,
not mixed.
organic milk is still impure. It's full of bacteria.
So it's
You
like
take
saying you can't buy. Yeah, but it's still pure. It's pure
It's
coming
not
straight from the cow.
pure. It's not pure. Nothing's pure about milk. It's full of garbage.
Okay,
Okay.
but what I'm saying is, yeah, is you're saying God don't exist. I'm asking you, how did the universe come into existence? You don't have an answer. If you're gonna claim that, you have to like bring evidence.
I didn't make a claim here. I never said I
No,
know
you
how it
said
got
God
there.
is imaginary.
Yeah, you're so focused on this idea that God must exist. If you just would take off your God goggles for a second and look at the world without your God lens, maybe the universe doesn't need a
No,
creator.
because not a lot of people think like
Hold
you.
on,
but
please stop, sir. Maybe the universe doesn't need God. Maybe we just fucking exist. Is
So who
that
gave
isn't
you
that a
life?
possibility?
No, it's not a possibility because when
Why
I wake
not?
up,
Why is it
because when I wake up in the
Why
morning
is
and
it
I see the moon and the
impossible?
stars and the sun, who can create such a thing? Who makes the sun rise in the morning and
The
set
sun
in the
doesn't
evening?
rise. It
It
doesn't
rises in the
actually
morning. What
rise.
do you mean? The sun
The
sets and
earth is
rises. It's common.
rotating.
You learn it
Sir,
in
the
school,
earth
mate.
is rotating. That's why it seems like there's a sunrise.
Mate, the sun does rise. It rises in the morning and then
No,
it sets.
Okay,
That's
do you
why you
know?
have night and day. So
Okay,
where does the sun go?
no.
There's night.
Okay, do you know that the earth rotates on its axis?
I know the earth rotates, but I'm saying the sun does
Okay.
rise.
That's why it seems like there's a sunrise, but it's not really rising. The sun doesn't move in the sky.
So how does the sky go from night and day?
The earth rotates, sir.
No, it's night and day. The earth, the sun brings the light, and the moon is the lesser light for the night.
The moon isn't a light. It's just a reflected light.
Yeah, it's a reflected light. That's correct. It's a reflected
Okay,
light.
great. So it's not actually light for
But
the
the fact
night.
that you have night
Okay.
and day is because the sun rises and it sets. It's not even about God. That's
No,
just
it's
science.
because of the Earth's rotation. Now, I can't believe you thought this was scientific, because the Quran, like I said, thinks that there's a firmament around the Earth, like there's a solid dome that contains the stars. That's not true.
The
I'm
Quran,
sorry,
what?
sir,
Sorry.
You have to do a lot more digging and
No,
learning.
no. What are you saying about the Quran? Sorry.
It says there's a firmament, which doesn't exist.
I have to read what you're saying. I can't just go over what you're saying. But all I know is
Yes,
there's
read your
not a single
Quran.
mistake
Read your
in the
Quran.
Quran. You
Read
can't
your
bring a
Quran
single
more,
mistake.
sir.
There's no mistake in the Quran. Not a single one.
Oh,
God
really? So
exists.
then why does it say that blood clots form in the body for in terms of embryology? There are no blood clots.
We all know that the woman had get blood clots.
It says in the Quran that woman that there's a clot in the womb. That's not true.
Again, I have to read what you're saying because you could be misunderstanding things.
Yes, go read it, right? Like you're not capable of debating this because you don't actually know what you're talking about.
No, you don't know what you're talking about because there's a lot of atheists that don't believe in nothing. And then when you ask them, how did the universe come into existence, they don't have an answer.
That doesn't mean God did it.
Of course it does. Well, if it's not God, then it's something,
This
correct?
is called an argument from ignorance, right? You're saying,
So
I
it's
don't know how
something.
the
If it's not God,
Dean,
then it
please,
must be. But are you
Dean,
agreeing
please,
there's
hold on,
something?
Dean. Dean, hold on, please. You're saying that I don't know how you atheists don't know how the universe got there. It must have been God. That's an argument from ignorance.
Okay, so I'm saying if
Fallacious
it's
argument.
not God, then what is it?
It could be many things. Quantum fluctuations.
What is
Maybe the
quantum
universe.
fluctuation?
Good question. What is that? What is a quantum fluctuation? Go learn it. Go learn some quantum mechanics. Go learn some physics. And you'll recognize that there are more possibilities out there than just my magic Allah man. There's more out there, sir. There's
Nah, man.
more. There's a
There's a
bigger
creator.
world
There's
out there. There's a bigger fucking world out there than you're just your Quran. Take your fucking book out of your face for a second and look at the world around you. It's bigger and more counterintuitive than it seems.
Yeah, all I know is most people agree that there's an all supreme power who created the whole world and the humans and etc. You don't agree with it. And even if someone was to give you evidence, you're still not going to agree with it.
Do you think the earth is flat?
It's either it's in the Quran it mentions it. I can pull up for you, but I'm not going to answer because I can just pull up and search it
Do
now.
you
But
think the earth is flat, sir?
no, I don't know the answer to that. It's a quick. I can quickly. I forgot what it is, but I can quickly
Okay.
find out for you.
Well, a
But
couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand years ago, everybody on the earth thought the earth was flat. Would that make it true?
the Earth is spherical.
But 1,000 years ago, everybody thought it was flat.
Yeah, exactly. So let me tell you something now. Yeah.
Right?
In
No,
the
no,
Quran. Yeah, but
no,
one
no,
second.
no.
One second.
No,
You're
Dean,
saying the
you're not
Quran.
getting the
You're
point here.
saying.
You're not
Yeah,
getting
you know
the
in the.
point here.
Do
You're
you,
not getting the point here. You made an ad populum fallacy. You just said everybody believes in a creator. That means it's real. No, that's an ad populum fallacy. Just like I showed you, just because many people might believe the earth is flat, it doesn't make it true.
yeah. So you know, let me speak. You muted me. I'm saying, in the Quran, which was revealed 1,400 years ago, you just said thousands of years ago, everyone thought the Earth was flat. But 1,400 years ago, when no one knew, God put it in the Quran that the Earth was
No,
spherical.
that's
Who could
not
have known this? Who
true.
could have known this?
Eratosthenes discovered the earth was flat 3,000 fucking years ago. Way
Yeah,
before
but
the
the
Quran.
Earth is not flat, though. I'm saying.
He discovered the earth was spherical 3,000 years ago, way before the Quran.
No, you're wrong.
Do you
You
know
just
what
said
do you know
1,000
who
years ago, no one knew.
Eratosthenes
Everyone
is?
thought the Earth
Do you
was
know?
flat.
Do you know who Eratosthenes is?
No.
He was a Greek philosopher, a Greek mathematician, and he discovered that the earth is spherical, way before the fucking Quran. The Quran is nonsense.
It's not nonsense, mate. I just said to you, science agrees with 100% of the Quran.
You keep
There's more
saying
than
this
6,000
so
signs.
disingenuous.
Okay,
You're
one
being so
second.
disingenuous.
Didn't
All
you
right,
just say
yeah.
to me the moon is a reflected light?
I'm sorry, but you're not going to come up here and keep spitting your nonsense. The Quran agrees with science. The Quran agrees with science. You keep saying that, but you never demonstrate it. And when I try to argue against it, you go, no, no, it doesn't say that. No, no. That's not how you debate properly. You're not an honest interlocutor. And I'm sorry, but you just didn't bring anything to the table. But you got to do better. You got to work harder. If you want to answer these big questions, you have to work harder to get the answer.
Hiya. Hiya. Hello.
Hi.
Hiya. I've got a question for you. You claim you're not religious. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So why was it the other day you was preaching about the rapture and being your last TikTok?
Satire, sir. Come on, it's satire.
Yes, you did.
Let's move on.
Yes, you did. So therefore, it makes you a hypocrite and a liar.
Satire, sir. I'm not liar. I'm not a fucking liar.
What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I gotta say, yes, go vegan for real. Especially these Christians too. I'm a
Okay.
Christian.
Look, what's your point today, sir? What's your point? What's your argument?
I believe that existence is evidence. You know, we have some words to define. I think that's some work that can be done, or we walk a tightrope, both of us, when we go about it. You know, imaginary, when we're talking about the mind and the, you know, other human minds, you know, What do we mean by imaginary? Because I can disagree and I can agree, but I need to know the definition of some things because we're talking about something that's not fully defined in a fallen world.
Okay. What God do you believe in?
I believe in the triune God, the first existing being who we all exist in, all living,
Okay.
all
The-
one. Every
okay.
God that you can even think about, that God made all those gods, and they're
Okay,
under
great.
that God. And he's
What's your evidence of that now?
the only evidence I have of that type of theology can only be a written scripture that is talked about as God's word, which is also known as the truth. Scripturally, that's the
Is it
theology
the Bible,
behind it.
sir? Is it the Bible by chance?
It is, but it's also a history. I mean, how much do you care about history?
Okay.
Because I see you kind of not really like
Are you high right now, sir? Are you on drugs?
I do be smoking, but like I've been really focused on this particular thing. Whether
Good day. Oh my gosh. Someone just came in from Yaptown. The Bible's not history. It's a book of fables and mythology. And sure, there might be some historical facts littered in the story, just like there's historical facts littered in within Spider-Man. But it doesn't make the entire collective thing history. Nobody would look at a talking donkey and go, "Yeah, that's history." No. Not everything written in the book is history. Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just watching. You can hang up. I don't know what just happened.
That was like $150. Smaller bonsai.
I don't know. I'm gonna send something.
Friend of friend, you
I'm
know?
gonna send something to her house though.
But they're easy. We do a second
I'm
hand
gonna
or
send
something.
something to
Oh,
her
wait,
house.
I'm up. I got to talk to this guy. Am I on? Can you hear me? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to wait a little bit while you were talking to these other people. No, I was going to say that I would love to see you apply some of that same scientific reasoning to science itself. So my background is, I've been to 3 colleges, all for natural science, but I am also a believer. So you can ask me whatever questions you want to kind of define that. But I would also concede ahead of time that it is simply because I read this book of mythology that claims to be true, and I find that it kind of is true. But that's my background on it.
Okay, great. What's your evidence for God?
Reference for God, I would say that there are. I would agree with you on that. There are many
Evidence
gods,
for
but
God.
I'm talking about a particular God. I would say it's a God that created the universe, which is not verifiable or
Okay, great.
fallible.
Do you have
We can't.
evidence? So do you have evidence of God or no?
Oh, there certainly is evidence. I think that that's part of the rhetoric problem I noticed when you talking with other people, is that you're not willing to concede to evidence that satisfies your needs, because it's going to be like finding out the Bible says something and then it is that way, or
Do you have evidence for God? Just say what the evidence is, please.
we could spend days, but you want me to just start spitting some stuff out? Like, how about math? We intellectually create this sort of paradigm of 1 apple, 2 apple, 3 apples, but you're really talking what, an average amount of atoms that make up those apples? What about the DNA, the variables? So it's numbers are an idea, and God happened to write the book that everyone's been talking about, the Bible,
Okay, so you're saying
in a math code. right? Because Hebrew, the Old Testament, which is all the Hebrew books, and Greek, the New Testament, which is all the Greek books, those two languages use numbers for their letters, or letters for their numbers, I should say. And so we could also translate the Bible into a math book, and it's a pretty intense math code.
Okay,
But
so,
that's just book, and I agree.
hello,
We can all say that.
Dare? Can I speak now, please?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Is your argument really math, therefore God exists? Is this what you're saying?
I would say that if you look at math and its complexities, like, you know, Fibonacci sequence, or just 5 squared, 25 squared, and the mirror that creates indefinitely, or pi, or all the
Okay,
different
sir.
cool
So
things about math.
can you please just like narrow it down a little bit more?
All right, let's not use math.
Do you think
That's too
that
broad. That's
because
too
it's
broad
a
scope.
fi-
That's too broad scope. Math is too broad scope. So I said there was
I
tons
just-
of examples.
I just can't do this anymore, guys. I'm sorry. I just can't take it. It's just a yap session. blah 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 blah. Right, just math doesn't demonstrate God. You like
Hello.
invented.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can
Yeah.
you? Okay. So you were saying how there's no proof of God existing or anything like that, and it's all mythological, right?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 14.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
18.
What year were you born?
2006, March.
Okay, what do you got?
Do you know what the Stonehenge is?
Yeah.
Do you know how it was made?
Not particularly, no.
Because it wasn't possible for a human to make a Stonehenge, right?
How do you know that?
Because the weight of it, and it's proven as well. Not any amount of humans could lift that.
Okay,
Back
but
in those
they had
times, especially.
technology. They had technology, sir. They had things that they had levers and pulleys and things that they could use to lift the rocks.
So what could they have lifted it with?
Do you know how levers work and pulleys and carriages
what?
and wheels?
No.
That's
Anyway,
why
do
you
you know
don't know. These are
Huh?
simple devices that people use to lift heavy rocks. It's just physics, right? They weren't dumb back then. They knew how to use these devices to lift these big fucking rocks. It's not like they just, all right guys, take your end and I'll take my end. They didn't do that, sir. They used equipment. They used technology that they had back then.
Okay. Do you know who Andrew Dawson is?
Andrew Dyson?
Dawson.
No.
Okay, he went viral on social media for catching a giant. What? That's proof, no?
He caught a giant.
He didn't catch a giant, but he caught it on camera. On a mountain. That's fun.
Okay, how tall was this giant?
20 foot.
Was he a human?
But he was quite far from the mountain.
Oh, so it was just a tall guy, a tall figure?
Tall figure, yeah.
Okay, how did you conclude it's a giant?
The FBI did.
The FBI?
Yep.
Okay.
It was
do
a
you have
big
any
case
report-
in
Do you, have
America.
any do you have any reports for this? Any actual evidence of this?
Yeah, you can find on social media.
That's not a report, sir. I'm looking for an actual report or document that shows
Well,
it.
I can't show you it, but you can search it up.
Okay, I can search up a flat Earth too, sir. I can search up anything I want to. The problem is you have
But
no
there's video
evidence.
proof.
That's not good evidence. Anybody can
Well,
fib a video. Anybody can make a video.
Well, he
It's
made
called
an
CGI.
apology video as well, because he wasn't meant to show that.
Wow, sir, do you have any actual evidence that we can verify for this monster or no?
Yeah, the video.
And how do you know the video wasn't faked?
What do you mean? Like, people came like weeks after to try find this giant.
Have a good day, sir. I can't. These people can vote, guys. Remember that. These guys can vote.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
18.
What year were you born?
August 2006.
Hello, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 18. I was born 2005, November.
Okay.
One thing I like to say, the way you debate people, it's not respectful. You're very cold. You don't take your time. You don't listen. So I don't know what's happened to you, man, but I feel you need to be more respectful and also don't look down upon people because of what they believe in. Because it seems like what you're doing, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not looking down on anybody. What I'm doing is I'm debating people and I'm trying to get evidence and get to the crux of the problem. But people don't actually, they just kind of go around the question. They don't answer it
Yeah, no,
directly. I'm looking
no, I
for
get that,
just like
bro.
just like what you're doing right now, right? All you're doing right now is going complain. You're complaining about me. You're
No,
not
no,
actually.
bro. I'm gonna give you evidence after. I'm just
Great.
saying,
So
like,
just
be a lot
so just give the evidence for God.
evidence for God, right? The Bible. Right, so no, so you trust all this scientific. See, your demeanor, the way these poses you do, it's just not respectful, mate.
So it's not
Just pattern up
it's
and
not
listen,
respectful to do this.
bro. The way you roll your eyes, just your attitude, bro. Like you're not respectful, bro. And then you're gonna kick me for saying this. Like,
Look, you can
just
say
have
that
some
I'm
decency
look,
about you,
as
bro.
much as you think I'm the bad guy here, Christianity in the Bible that you worship so vividly is actually a cause for lots of harm in our world. It actually causes people to die. And I'm sorry that I might seem a little rude, but your Bible is way ruder than I'll ever be. Your religion has caused so much harm that goes under the radar. It's
Bro,
absurd to think that I'm the bad guy here.
bro.
Give
This is bigger
evidence to
than
God
me,
or go away. And I'm sorry that I'm aggressive against your religion, but your religion's
bro.
aggressive against us. It's taking away people's rights to abortion, to their bodily rights. It's a very, very terrible
This
thing.
isn't about religion, bro. This is about me and you right now, humans. Yeah,
Then
I'm showing you respect, bro.
give evidence for God or go away.
Right. So you believe in all this like scientific, like Aristotle, all their mathematical codes, they like Pythagoras, all that, yeah. Well, the Bible's the exact same. The apostles, they documented what they saw, yeah, and Pythagoras saw them. They documented what they found. How is it so much different?
No,
Yes, I know.
the Gospels that were
I said
not
the
eyewitness
apostles.
testimonies.
I said the apostles documented what they saw.
No,
Didn't
they
say the
did.
Gospels.
There were no eyewitness testimonies in the Bible. You have, and by the
What?
way, all you have is
So you're saying they're all stories then? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, the Bible is a collection of stories that are unfalsifiable. So, do you have any actual evidence instead of a book?
Bro, like that is the evidence. I mean, I can't change someone's opinion like yours because you're just like not gonna ever accept like.
Okay,
bro. No, before you
I
kick me, I
I
just
have
say
a
one
story.
thing.
Look, I have a book called the Vesta that 2,000 years ago people wrote down, and there's an eyewitness for the Vesta monster. Do you agree? Do you think that the Vesta monster is real now?
Well, no, but I haven't read that.
Wait, so just because you have an eyewitness testimony in an old book doesn't make it good evidence, right? Do you agree?
Bro, like that's just such a bad comparison.
How? You have an old
That
book
that, ane-
with
that
eyewitness
anecdote,
testimonies
bro.
that cannot be falsified.
But we can sit a debate all day, right? If God is God, the power of the Bible, it brings joy and happiness to so many people around the world. So why, like,
So does
surely people,
drugs, so does cocaine. Who cares? I'm looking for
yeah, but also
evidence of what's
destroys
true.
people.
Look, I want evidence of what's true. I care about what is
Like,
true.
define evidence to me. Define evidence.
Evidence is data or facts that point to a specific conclusion over another. Do you have that for
Data or
God?
fact?
Do you have that for
I
God?
mean, God is believing. There is no, in such, there is no proof, but there is proof if you want to believe it.
Sir, is there evidence or not for God?
Yes, the Bible. And the
The
billions
Bible's
of
the
people who believe
claim.
in
The
him and
Bible's the
worship him.
claim, sir. The Bible's the claim, not the evidence. Evidence is something independent of the Bible.
But there's so many people stories when they get knocked out and they're on a table dying and they see and they hear Christ's voice. Well, so as a combined, so millions of people are lying, are they now? Is it just one big
No, they're
conspiracy
not.
theory?
Nobody's lying, sir. What's happening is people pretend they hear things and they pretend that's God when it could be something different. It could be their own voice in their own head. People typically that believe in God are going to obviously undergo confirmation bias and say that they experienced God no matter what it was. Just like the Hindus experience the Hindu gods, the Muslims experience the Muslim God. All religions do this. Yours is no different.
Right. One. Well, there are other like. Well, there's more evidence for God, like order and design. Yeah, the way things are ordered and designed in the universe. When I see order and design in real life, that doesn't happen by accident. I know for things to be ordered, you have to work hard to get them to be ordered. So therefore, in my mind, it makes more sense that someone has done this. Also, intricacy of our bodies, and how they're laid out. I know that like doctors, you've got to understand it. I just don't think that could come from nothing, bro. Like personally, like there's no evidence of the Big Bang. You can say there is, but there isn't.
There is. We have evidence of the Big Bang with CMB radiation, the redshifting of galaxies, and all kinds of others. But when you're going to say that there's design, that's a very appealing thing to say. That, oh, look around you, look at the trees, look at the earth. Who made all this? It's so complex. It must be designed. Well, I'm sorry, sir, but we do have a very valid explanation for these things: physics, gravity, laws of nature. All these things explain.
Yeah, things got created, mate.
Okay, I think I was talking to a child because I just got an age restricted violation. No wonder he was saying that. What are you saying? Look, we look at a watch, we think there's a watchmaker. But when we look at a cloud or a volcano or, thunderstorms, we never say that there is a man behind those things. Those are natural. So perhaps the universe around us, although it's so appealing to say that there's something amazing about the world around us, it doesn't need to be God. It can be nature itself. Just things that are. And if you're going to say that God made us and the complexities that requires design, how about God? Who designed God? And if nobody designed God, then why does the universe need design? It's just a bad argument.
I'm actually happy that you have this dialogue out because this kind of makes people think. Um, Now I was someone that was born and raised a Baptist, and I joined the military and I traveled the world and I started learning from other religions, other people's beliefs, and
Okay, great. I'd love to hear your story, but the problem is this is a debate stage. So do you have an argument for us today or no?
oh well, I have something that could kind of support your argument, but also kind of give a little help to the others too as well, because maybe that.
Just give evidence for your God.
Okay, all right. Now, if you look at God, okay, from this concept alone, the word God exists because the word exists. And that's just by the word itself, just the word. Now, is there an actual physical being of
Okay, you ready for the evidence?
Yeah.
Are you breathing?
Yeah.
Are you thinking? You got eyes, you got a nose, you got a mouth.
Okay, great. So what does that mean?
I mean, that was by design.
No, it means that there's a physical, natural explanation too.
Yes, there is, but by design.
Show
So
me that
nature
it was
designs.
designed. Okay. Show me
Nature
that this was
designs.
designed. No, you're not going to sit there and say design, 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 design.
Nature
You're gonna-
doesn't design.
Shh, Kenny, you're going to show me evidence in favor of design and not nature. Can you do that for
Oh,
us today, Kenny?
can you show me a design of nature?
It doesn't exist. There is no design. Nothing's designed. Can you show me that there is design?
So how come so many of you look the same? That's not design?
What?
So many of you look the same.
Who made
Humans?
you look the same? What?
Humans and trees. They look trees look the same to you? Humans look the same to you?
All right, have a good day, Kenny. Holy fucking shit. All right, let's get the next victim in here.
Hey, it's have you ever believed in a higher being yourself?
Like an airplane? Yeah, I believe in airplanes.
Okay. A higher being. I mean, you believe? Do
Well,
you
I don't
believe?
know what a higher being is, sir, because I don't know what the fuck that is.
You don't. You say you see day and you see night, right? Am I correct?
Yeah,
You
you're
know the
correct.
difference between day and night?
Yeah, I do, sir.
All right. What is night?
When the Earth rotates in a specific way that is counter to the sun's energy.
All right. It is the absence of light. There is no dark. There's no dark. It is just the absence of light. It was created that way. Just like there is no such thing.
No. Show me that there's creation. Don't just keep saying there's creation. Show me that there is. Give me reasons to think that that's created.
You're getting it right here. You think it's dark. It's not dark. That's the absence of light. There is no cold and hot. There is no heat. It is the absence.
Okay. Guys, I'm sorry. I don't know if I could do this anymore today. I'm going to switch it over to the vegan topic. I can't do this anymore. We're getting like the worst of the worst. I'm sorry, guys. We just don't have enough people in here.
Hey, wait, if you're done with the God topic, I wanted to talk about the vegan one.
Okay.
So don't get me wrong. So like literally your lives have been like coming across my thing like a lot, and it's been making me question like my diet so much. But at the same time I get confused because like how is it justified eating plants if they're live too? Are they not alive?
They're alive, but they're not sentient.
What does that mean?
They don't feel.
They don't feel?
No.
So, but they're still like alive. So why do we have to eat plants?
Veganism doesn't mean we care about life. It means we care about sentience, right? I don't want to harm somebody who has feelings and can feel pain and that kind of experience, right? So that's what it means to be vegan.
Oh, okay. Well, that justified it. Thank you.
Have a good day. Sorry, guys, my patience levels are running out. I don't know if I can do this anymore. It just bothers me deeply that people are not educated. It just bothers me deeply. That the world around us depends on people who are educated, yet we take it for granted.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, the term the guy was looking for is subjective experience because technically sentience is just movement of atoms. That life is just movement of atoms maintaining.
Okay, thank you. Can you do what's your point today, sir?
Okay, so regarding life, so the design argument, the teleological argument is close, but I think what a lot of these Christians are missing is that the universe is a function. You take all the laws, you take the four fundamental laws of the universe, and there's only one possible output. There's only one possible output. That's the definition of a function. The only possible output when you put in all the laws that exist in our universe is the subjective experience. It is the culmination of every law that exists in our universe. It is the laws that exist are only necessary up to the maintaining life in our universe. After that, complexity stops. There is no further complexity after the subjective experience. The most amount it stops there. You have hydrogen bonds. Okay, so after
Okay,
hydrogen bonds,
please stop, sir. Please, I'm gonna stop you there. What the fuck is your point?
so if we are in a function has purpose. The purpose of our universe is the subjective experience. That is
Okay,
the
great.
purpose.
So demonstrate that the point of the universe is our experience. Can you demonstrate that for us?
Yeah, a function is basically you just take all of the input, and there's only one possible output.
It's not what a function is. That's not even what the fuck a function is.
Yeah, it is. That
The
dude, I
function
make
is inputs
calculus
and
right now. You
outputs,
can't
but it
tell me
doesn't mean there's one output. Stop.
Yes, a function is.
It's not just one output. There can be multiple outputs. Now, can you fucking give evidence for God? I'm sorry, sir, but just simply saying we're complex, our experience is complex, therefore God, that's not a good argument for us, right? I want a good argument. There's a microphone function you can click.
Okay, so if there is so the universe has purpose. It's a function. It has purpose, which is a subjective experience. Therefore, it is designed.
That's a question-begging argument because you assume that it has purpose. You assume purpose in your premise, right? You can't
Well,
assume purpose.
I wouldn't say I'm assuming. It's an observation that the function of our universe is the subjective experience.
That's a claim. How do you demonstrate that claim is true?
Because the only possible output for all the laws in the universe is the subjective experience. That's the only possible output. You can't have. It's not
makes no
water.
sense.
Not
That makes no sense, sir. We are not the only
not to
output of the
you. Not
universe.
to you. No, it doesn't make sense. But that's because
Donald, can you stop
you're emotional.
talking?
You're emotional. You're an emotional.
Our experience is not the only output of the universe. There's black holes, there's galaxies, there's stars, there's space, there's dark matter, dark energy. There's all kinds of shit that's not us. We are a fraction of a fucking fraction of what's out there. To think that the purpose of the universe is our experience is absurd. Your argument is question begging. Now, I'm sorry, Donald, but this is not good evidence to me. It's a fallacious argument. It assumes there's purpose to us. Can you show me that there must be one output and that must be humans? And how the fuck this means God exists? Click your microphone function, sir. I brought you up because you said you were pre-med. You know, I'm not saying that. Like, you know, come on. You went through school, you went through college, and what is happening? I'm not down. I'm a very happy person. I enjoy life so much. But what makes me sad is the fact that people are so willfully ignorant on these things, right? That people today, we've heard today this entire time, people just presupposing somebody did it, right? Design, not willing to look at the other possibilities. And when I say that there's other possibilities, they dismiss them immediately, you know? That kind of willful ignorance is the worst kind. Because once you learn more about the world, all the other possibilities open up and you recognize that it doesn't have to be some designer, it doesn't have to be somebody out there. That there could be another perspective. It's not just different opinions. No, there's a right way to think and a wrong way to think. It's not about opinions or beliefs. It's about how we get to these facts. How do we get to the truth? Epistemology, right? It's about how we know things are true. And although it's appealing to say somebody designed this because I don't understand it, that's a bad reasoning. It just doesn't work. Bring up the math guy. Oh gosh, here we go. If he says Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, hello?
Hi.
Yeah, so I want to talk about the first three statements that you make, but the first one I want to talk about is you mentioned that evolution is a fact, right?
Yeah.
And what would your definition of a fact be?
What the evidence shows. What the
Okay,
evidence.
so 100 years ago, right? Most scientists were under the assumption that the universe was eternal, right? And then they discovered redshift, and they discovered that the universe was actually moving away from us, right? Implying that there was a star point. So would you accept that their perception that the universe was eternal as a fact was incorrect?
Your question's malformed. The universe is, we don't know if the universe is eternal or finite. The Big Bang's not the beginning necessarily. So we
Okay,
don't.
so do you accept that the universe had a starting point?
No, I don't know what you mean by a starting point. The Big Bang
Okay.
doesn't talk about a starting point.
Okay. There's consensus that the universe is currently expanding into new space, correct?
Yeah, that's the Big Bang. That's all the Big Bang says.
Okay, so the fact that we're expanding into new space suggests that there was once a point in which there was no space. That it suggests that there was a starting point, correct?
No, it suggests that the universe was smaller and denser before, but that's all.
But you're in the minority in this, though, in the sense that the consensus of scientists is that the universe began to exist.
No, there is no consensus on that. The consensus is that the Big Bang happened, but the Big Bang has no bearing on the beginning.
Okay, we don't even need to go to the Big Bang, correct? You said that a fact is the wait. Could you read the term? Could you restate your definition of a fact again, sir?
It's what the evidence points to.
Okay, cool. So 3,000 years ago, when they were under the assumption that the Earth was flat, according to the facts or statistics they had, would that have been a valid position to hold 3,000 years ago?
No, there was no evidence that the Earth was flat.
No, wait, hold on. Okay, let's not even go to the Earth is flat. Let's go towards the geocentric model. Are you really trying to say there was no evidence to suggest that the current model was geocentric rather than heliocentric? At that point in time,
there was never any evidence that the Earth is flat. Never was, never will be. All the evidence always pointed to the geocentrism. However, I'm sorry, not to a global Earth. However, most people believed back then that the Earth was flat. Sure, but it doesn't.
When you say back then, what era are you actually referring to as well? By the way,
before the Greek mathematicians.
Okay, I think the thing is, when you say fact, that would imply that something is. A lot of people interpret that as something that's 100% true, right? But I know you don't necessarily agree with that, so that's fine. I'm glad we cleared that up anyway. So and then going on to the vegan part, correct? So why do you think that animal life is valuable?
Because they're sentient.
And what do you define as sentient?
Ability to feel or emote.
Okay, so if hypothetically I had a family member who couldn't feel pain or couldn't feel emotions, are they still considered human?
Yeah.
Why are they considered human though? They can't feel anything. They're not sentient.
They still have human genetics.
Oh, so now human genetics is what determines whether someone is valuable or not.
Yeah, you're kind of rambling. Your question doesn't even follow. First of all, veganism is not about how much I value.
No, forget veganism. We're talking purely about the value of human life, right? The categorization into what is valuable life and what
is relevant to veganism, though?
Because what do you mean? I'm questioning you on your worldview, and it will later link back to the initial question was about animal life.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much I value animal life. I value it enough to not want to harm it.
Okay. You value animal life because it has feelings, right? Animals feel pain, right?
It's just one of the myriad of reasons.
Okay, and if that reason is eliminated, is their life still valuable?
Yes, in many different ways there's value. People have value, but that's irrelevant.
No, of course it's relevant. What do you mean? Wait, hold on.
It's not relevant because
okay, why is human life
nothing to do with this other? Shh, please.
Come on, there's no need for that. Come on.
When I say I'm vegan, all it means is that I don't want to harm anybody who doesn't have to be harmed. That's it. I value my life more than fucking your life. I value me more than anybody else on this fucking planet. And so probably do you. That's irrelevant to veganism though. Because all veganism means is I don't want to harm animals if I don't have to. So why do you want to harm them?
My question to you is, why do you ascribe value to animal life or human life?
Because we're living beings who are sentient and have experiences.
That's not a rational position to hold.
Okay, why do you value life?
Me, I value life because God told me to.
Oh, so if God said that we're not valuable, you have no value?
Yeah, because assuming
that's rational, and that's rational to you.
Of course it is, because
okay, great.
if by definition,
whatever God says, whatever your magic wizard says up in the clouds, that's where you're gonna fucking get your value.
Okay. First of all, that's a straw man, because I don't believe in a magical creator in the sky. So it's a very common tactic used. Are you gonna interrupt me every single time I speak?
Where is God? Where is he?
Okay, cool. Are you gonna interrupt me if I speak though, or are you gonna let me speak?
Where's God?
Okay, I'll answer your previous question prior to this, right? So first of all, the claim that I believe in the imaginary sky fairy daddy is a claim often used by atheists to kind of
Come
belittle the
on,
idea
sir.
of believing in God, right?
Let's get over it. It was a joke. Relax. Get on
Okay,
to
no,
the point.
it's fine. I'm making a joke as well. I'm making a joke because you don't believe in morality as well. You believe that.
Oh yeah, now you're gonna strawman me. I do believe in morality
Okay, and how do you determine what's right and what's wrong?
by using my fucking brain.
Okay, and a serial killer can use his brain and determine and come to the conclusion that he's correct. Would you have any problem with that?
Yes, I would have a problem with that
Why would you have a problem with that?
because I disagree with his opinions.
Oh, so you accept that ultimately your morality is just subjective and it's based off your
Yes,
whims and desires.
all morality is subjective, especially yours.
I'd argue against that.
Okay. Well, then, if God came down and said you must rape somebody, would you do it?
Would you have any problem if someone
No.
if
Answer
would you
my
have a problem?
question.
Would you have a
Answer my
problem?
question, sir.
Would you
You're
would you
s-
have would
shh,
would you have
stop,
an objective?
stop,
Would you
stop. You want to come up here and say you don't have any morality, Mike, because you're an atheist. You have it. You think it's all subjective. Well, then, okay, Mr. Objective Morality person. If you get your morality from God, then if God came down and said you better murder somebody, would you murder somebody? Because that's where you get your morality, right? So would you do it? Yes or no?
hypothetically, even if I was to murder someone, the maximum
No. Answer the question. Would you murder if God said to?
the thing is, hypothetically, even if I was to enslave someone,
Sir,
or
yes or no? Yes or no?
this is a two-way conversation. I'm not going to
Yes
be
or
spoken at.
no? Yes or no?
I'm not going to be spoken at and forced into yes or no answers since you haven't been able to do the same. So
I'm sorry, sir, but
the thing is,
you're running away because you know that you're.
I'm
you're gonna
not
say
running
yes.
away. You're running away. If anything, you refuse to answer when I questioned you on your methodology of determining right or wrong.
I answered your fucking question. I said we determine it. I said we determine it, and stop pivoting because I
So
fucking answered
you
it.
just said whatever I feel like is right, and whatever I feel like is wrong, right?
What is good is what I prefer. What is bad is what I don't prefer, and so does everybody else feel that way. That's what
Okay.
morality means.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that
Okay.
there's
So
a-
according to your
Now, can you answer
worldview,
my question now?
according to your
Now, can you
worldview, a
answer my
rapist.
question now? Can you answer my question now?
Okay, cool. According to your worldview, a rapist who feels that
Can you
he's
answer
doing the
my
right thing
question
is
now?
valid.
Shh. Can you answer
According
my
to your
question?
worldview, according to your
Can
worldview, a rapist is completely valid to believe that what
No,
he's doing is correct.
I think what he did was wrong.
Okay, why though? Why?
Because what he did was wrong. Was harming somebody. I think that's wrong.
Okay, and do you accept that harm in all instances is wrong?
No, harming somebody for self-defense is okay.
Wait. So hold on. Let's hypothetically say that someone was to rape someone. Would it be okay to punish that person?
Yes.
Why would it be okay? Because it would lead to a higher happiness. It would lead to the higher overall happiness of society if that person was locked away.
I'm not
Correct?
utilitarian.
Are you or not?
I'm not a utilitarian. I don't know why you keep question begging and why do you keep asserting my
Wait.
meta?
Okay. So hold on. So why is it bad to harm someone then? If you're not utilitarian?
Because well, for many reasons. There's the ontology. We have rule-based ethics. And we recognize that under certain rules that I live by, I don't want to harm somebody because it takes away their well-being.
And why is well-being important? The thing is, why is
It's
well-being?
important because it's important to me subjectively. I don't need to go further than that, sir. I just prefer my well-being and other people's well-being to be good. So now, can you answer my question?
So
Now, can you
the
answer
crux
my
of the matter
question,
is you.
sir? Look. You think you have a gotcha here, right? A lot of theists want to say, "Oh, look, you think it's all just opinion. So if a rapist raped, you think that's okay?" No, I think what a rapist did is wrong, and that's just my opinion. That's all I need for morality. All I need for morality is an opinion. Yes, it's subjective, but if you're going to claim
Is
that
an
there's
opinion that what he's doing is correct.
if you're going to claim that there is objective morality, that's your job to demonstrate. So show me that God's morality is any better than mine. Show me that God's opinion is any better than my opinion.
You just said whatever you determine as right or wrong is what is right or wrong, correct? So what
To me,
objection would you have?
It's right or wrong to me. Now, can you show me that your God? Shh. Can you stop trying to attack my position when you can't, and start answering my questions?
That I'm attacking you instead of you attacking other people.
You're not. It's not working though. You're not attacking anything correct.
Because you dodge every question and
I
pivot.
didn't dodge a single question you asked me.
Okay.
Can you answer my question?
Okay, cool.
If God came down and said you better grape somebody, would you grape somebody?
Okay, cool. Before I answer that question,
Yes
do
or
you?
no? Yes or
Okay,
no?
okay, okay. One
Yes
sec,
or
one sec, one
no?
sec.
Yes or
Okay.
no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Do you have any problem
Yes
with
or
someone?
no? Yes or no?
That's not the way this. That's not the way this. I
All
have
right,
to. I'm not gonna answer.
I'm gonna do this one more time. I already conceded that my morality is subjective, and that's the end of it. Anything else you're trying to attack is irrelevant. I agree, morality is subjective. Now, you're the one claiming that morality is objective. Can you demonstrate that, sir? How can you show me that your God's morality is better than my morality? Do it.
Okay, cool. Fundamentally, I believe in a God, correct? And fundamentally, you did too until you were taught otherwise. Because humans are born with
No,
a
that's bullshit, and that's a pivot.
Wait, hold on, hold on, hold on. Every
Demonstrate
anthropological
that
study.
God's morality. Shh. We'll do this again. Well, we're going to do this again, sir. You can't answer a simple fucking question. If God came down tomorrow and said, whoever, you must grape this person, because I'm the objective standard, would you do it, sir? Yes or no?
The thing is, this is not an intellectual argument you're making. You're making an argument based
It's
off.
called the Euthyphro dilemma, sir. This is a
The
very
thing is,
valid argument.
you're
It's
trying
called
to
the
win over the
Euthyphro-
TikTok audience instead of.
It's called the Euthyphro dilemma, and it shows you that you are subject to God's commands and opinions too, just as I am. Just as I am subject to my opinions. The problem is you don't have objective morality. You pretend you do, but you don't, unless you can show it to us right now.
Okay, cool. For me, in order for me to show it to you, I would have to first imply a rational belief in God, correct? Since it
No,
would make
I'll grant you that God exists. Show me that God's morality is objective.
Okay, so you've gone back to your belief in believing that God exists, because that's how you were born, right?
No, I'll grant you that for the sake of the argument that God exists. Now, to show me that God's morality is objective.
Well, morality doesn't exist without God. Objective morality is by definition
Stop
only.
making claims and show me that God's morality is
Okay,
objective.
one sec. This is the thing, right? You sit down all day and ask for people to show you things. But if I ask you to show anything, you just say, "Oh, well, that's my opinion. That's my subjective opinion." I asked you for a
'cause
methodology.
That's the honest answer. My morality is my opinion. Now,
Okay,
can you
okay.
demonstrate God's morality is objective fact?
Okay, cool. At best, you're agnostic on every single thing. You're agnostic on the
Oh my
existence
gosh,
of God.
sir, can you please just answer my questions?
What's your question?
If God came down tomorrow and said you got to grape this person, would you do it?
It's irrelevant to this conversation. The thing
Yes
is,
or no,
you're-
sir? Just
you're-
answer it.
the thing
Yes
is-
or
The thing is,
no?
this is what you're doing.
Yes or no?
You're trying to appeal to the TikTok audience.
I don't care about the audience.
You
Can
do.
fucking answer a question.
You
Yes
do.
or
You
no?
do.
Yes or
You-
no?
You're
Yes
using
or no?
you're using exaggerative arguments to.
It's not
to-
exaggerated. This is the Euthyphro dilemma.
This
You
is the
know
what?
that is?
No secular academic ever uses this as an argument against God.
Well, I'm using it right now, and you can't answer. If
Okay,
it's
and
such
I'm
a
and
bad
I'm
argument, then answer it.
okay. I'll flip the question back to you. If you got infected with a virus tomorrow or with a mental illness that said it was okay to rape someone, would there be anything wrong with you going and doing it if you believed it was okay?
It would be wrong to do that action. Yes,
Why? If
because
you thought it was okay,
you're
though.
harming somebody. Now, can you
Okay,
answer
okay.
my question?
Okay, one sec.
Can you answer my question now?
No, one sec.
Would God,
Why
if
is it
God came
bad?
down, shh, sir.
Why
if
is it
God came-
why
shh.
is it bad to harm someone? Why is it bad to harm someone?
We already explained to you because it reduces their well-being.
And well-being is linked to happiness, correct?
No, but it is.
So what is it linked to?
It is linked to happiness, but that's irrelevant.
Okay.
I
One sec.
prefer people to be happier than not happy. Now, can you?
Okay. Listen. Okay.
Now, can you answer my question? If God came
Okay.
down and said you got to grape somebody, would you do it?
Okay. Cool. You said raping someone is bad
No,
because
stop. Answer my question. Yes or no?
I'll answer it after I answer yours.
Answer
So
it
cool.
now. Answer it
Okay,
now.
cool.
Answer it now.
If someone was to take a
Answer
pill
it
that would
now. Answer
is
it
it
now.
is it wrong to grape someone in their sleep with
Yes, it's wrong. It's always wrong to rape somebody.
and
It's
no
always wrong to
wait
rape
one sec
somebody, in my
and they're
view.
unaware of what you're
Yes,
doing.
it's always wrong. It's always wrong to me. Now, can you answer my
You
question?
can't demonstrably prove that. You can't rationally hold that as a
It's my
belief.
opinion. It's my opinion.
Okay, so ultimately your whole existence is based off your opinions and whims and
No,
desires.
my morality is in my opinion, not my existence. Nice
Okay,
try. Devin.
demonstrate to me why rape is objectively wrong.
I never said it was objectively wrong. I said it's subjectively wrong to me.
Okay, so it's about as arbitrary as you preferring a flavor of ice cream to
Mor-
another.
Yes, morality is subjective. Get over it. Now, can you demonstrate that it's objective?
Yeah, because morality comes from God, and ultimately, whatever God tells you
Okay.
to do
So if
is
God,
moral.
okay, great. So if God came down and said you got to rape somebody, you would do it.
So there's been a story about Abraham who
Sir,
got
yes
asked.
or no? If God came down and said you got to rape somebody, would you do it?
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. So I'll answer this question as long as I can. No. One sec. I'll answer this question as long as I can follow it up with another explanation.
Yes
The
or
same.
no, sir? Yes or no? Would you do it?
That would depend on the situation, but ultimately, morals come from God. But the
Whoa,
fact
whoa,
that He
whoa,
hasn't
whoa.
asked
What
us
do you
to
mean
do
it
that.
depends? Wait a minute. You said it depends. So you're saying that God is not the authority of morality?
No, God is the authority of morality.
So then whatever he says is right, correct?
Yes, correct. Yes,
So
yes.
if God said to grape somebody, you would do it, correct?
It's not in His nature to do so, but
Oh
hypothetically,
my
in a
gosh, sir.
situation,
If
He would.
God
Yeah.
said
Yes.
you would rape somebody if God said you should do it. Wow.
No. He wouldn't do. He wouldn't say that though.
But if he did say it, you would rape somebody.
Okay, I'll ask you a question. If God was real,
And you
right?
want to sit up here and pretend that you have objective ethics.
Okay, listen.
This
Hypothetically,
is a grand demonstration that you don't have objective morality. You have opinions too.
okay, let me know when you're done with the monologue so I
You
can.
just follow God's opinion, sir. You just follow God's opinion. And I'm sorry. I won't let you speak anymore because you couldn't answer my question. You could have done it a decade ago, but you took so long. Look, morality seems to be preference, how we want to behave with each other. There doesn't seem to be some kind of cosmic guide or guidance about morality. It seems to be that we're on our own, living together, having to make choices together, having to understand each other, having to survey what's happening around us, measure the consequences to our actions, and make rules subjectively. It seems to be that's the case. And just because we are the ones who decide what is right or wrong subjectively, it doesn't mean that we don't have ethics or that we can't decide what is good or bad or that we need somebody else. We don't. And in fact, according to this guy, even theists have subjective ethics. Or it leads to really crazy consequences, or anything's allowed if God says it. That to me isn't ethics, that's orders. Those are orders to me. And I'd rather live in a system where morality is subjective because it takes into account people's lives, their livelihoods, their well-being. It takes into account what's really happening, the real consequences to my actions. We can do that under atheism, under a secular system, but we cannot do that under God, because whatever God says goes. And that's the issue with theistic morality. It's not even morality under my standard. It's just a bunch of orders.